Welcome to girls softball, varsity softball today with the Lorain Titans and Garfield Heights. As we get set for Lorain as they are hosting Garfield Heights. And the Lorain Titans come in with a record of 9-4. Garfield Heights just 0-2 on the season. Lorain, the home team here at this beautiful new complex at the Pipe Yard. They are the home team, so they will be on defense as Garfield Heights will bat to lead off the top of the first inning. Pitching for the Titans this afternoon will be sophomore Jayla Kirksey. She is a righty. And let's take a look at the Lorain defense. It'll be freshman Jayla King at first, freshman Elena Warren at second base. It'll be senior Jolly Cortez at short. Down at third base is sophomore Kiera Swieger. In the outfield, left field is a senior Veda Blankenship. In center field, it is sophomore Olivia Charlton. In right field, it will be senior Aaliyah Smith. Behind the plate, sophomore Allie Lighty. And again, on the mound for the Titans this afternoon is sophomore Jayla Kirksey. Our officials today, our umpires, I should say, to be accurate. Home plate umpire is Jerry Horner, and on the bases today is Ken Smits. It's Kirk Mariota is the head coach for Garfield Heights, and for Lorain, it is J.D. Charlton. So the Bulldogs are set to come up to bat here in the top of the first inning. Get you their lineup here momentarily. Just making one adjustment here to our lineup. And leading off for the Bulldogs, it will be sophomore Kara Miller. She is the flex player. She'll lead off, right-hand batter. Again, Jayla Kirksey on the mound. She's into her windup, and today's first pitch is high and outside, ball one. For Garfield Heights, their lineup is a sophomore right fielder, Kara Miller, batting second. Senior third baseman, Camilla Bolds, batting third. Sophomore catcher, Haley Bolds. The 1-0. Low and inside, 2-0. Batting cleanup for the Bulldogs. Senior pitcher, Akila Adams, batting fifth. Will be sophomore center fielder, Faith Boozer, batting sixth. Junior first baseman, Alex Roundtree, batting seventh. Sophomore second baseman, Ari Thomas. The 2-0 now. There's a called strike, 2-1. Batting eighth will be senior shortstop Allie Guzman, and batting ninth, Yenna Nye. She is a senior in left field. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's high and outside, 3-1. Infield is playing in. And the outfield straight away, medium deep, the 3-1. Low and inside, ball 4. So Miller will get the first via a walk. So the leadoff batter is aboard with a walk, and that'll bring up third baseman senior Camilla Bolds. Turf infield, so I know it rained earlier this afternoon, but obviously with this turf, it's this beautiful complex that can take that. Outfield is grass, but it looks relatively dry. Bolds, another right-hand batter. Takes a look at a called strike. It gets away from the catcher, Lighty, and that will enable Miller to scamper down to second base. So a walk and a pass ball has Miller at second. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Just underway, girls varsity softball on WLCS TV 20. Another called strike, 0-2. Throw back to second. Getting back in time is going to be Miller as the second baseman taking the throw was Elena Warren as the freshman tried to sneak behind her. Rob Polinsky here with you. Mike Bacciatti along with Terry Trout here. That bounces in, 1-2. Again, the Titans and J.D. Charlton in his second season taking over from Pam Jackson, who retired a couple years ago. J.D.'s team comes in with an outstanding 9-4 record overall. That's high, 2-2. The throw back to second, and Miller is caught in between bases. She falls down. She will be tagged out. So Miller is tagged out by Warren. She was caught in between, and she is picked off second base for out number 1. And that throw went 2-6 on the, or 2-4, I'm sorry, on the put out. So there's one out, nobody on. Now in a 2-2 count to Camilla Bolds. Haley Bolds is on deck. Called strike 3. And there are 2 down now in the top of the first. Then that hits Haley Bolds, so the catcher will get first base via the being hit by the pitch. So a runner at first, 2 outs. That brings up the cleanup hitter, senior pitcher Akila Adams. I believe we're going to get a courtesy runner down at first base. So I believe they want to get a runner down there for Bolds at first base. And we do. Get to that courtesy number when we get a second. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Right, but remember, we don't have numbers. I have names, so I'm going to find a girl that we're not using. Thanks, Mike. That one's lifted into right field and drifting. It's going to be over the head of the right fielder, Aaliyah Smith. And there was going to be a 2-out double, so runners at second and third. And it looks like the courtesy runner is hurt down there at third base. I'm not sure what happened there. But E9, and we're going to have runners at second and third. And that courtesy runner who was hurt is Layla Rusaw. And she will come out if she is hurt. She's limping off the field. Not sure what she did, but she's able to get off the field, and that will put Bolds back in at third base. So 2 on, 2 out, runners at second and third. Off-speed pitch called strike, throw back down to third. And they're going to tag out the runner off third base. So Garfield Heights gets 2 runners picked off in the inning. And that ends up costing them as they are out 2-5 on that third out. So Faith Boozer is going to lead off the top of the second for Garfield Heights because the inning ends as a runner gets picked off. So for Garfield Heights, no runs in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first. Garfield Heights nothing. Lorain coming to bat. You're watching girls varsity baseball on girls varsity softball on WLCS TV 20. We head to the home half of the first inning. The Lorain Titans come up for the first time in a scoreless game. Leading off will be senior shortstop Jolly Cortez. Get to the rest of the lineup. She chokes up slightly, right-hand batter. Awaiting the pitch from senior Akila Adams out there on the mound for the Bulldogs. Today's first pitch to the Titans is high, ball 1. Jolly Cortez, senior shortstop, batting first. She'll be followed by sophomore catcher Allie Lighty. Batting third is freshman second baseman Elena Warren. Batting cleanup will be senior left fielder Veda Blankenship. Batting fifth, sophomore third baseman Kiera Swiger. That's high, ball 2. Batting sixth will be a sophomore and center fielder Olivia Charlton. Batting seventh, the freshman at first base Jayla King. Batting eighth, senior right fielder Aaliyah Smith. Batting ninth, sophomore pitcher Jayla Kirksey. 3 balls, no strikes. The Bulldogs had 2 on, but they had 2 runners get picked off the bases in the top of the first inning, and that is ball 4. Gets away from the catcher Olds and running around first, trying to take second base. Getting in there with the steal is Jolly Cortez. Good hustle by Cortez. She got the first on the walk, and then she went to second on the wild pitch, and she never stopped running. We'll set the Garfield Heights defense here for you when we get a minute. Sophomore catcher Allie Lighty, right-hand batter, awaits. There's a called strike off the outside corner. For the Bulldogs, again, pitching will be Akila Adams, a senior. Hala Bonds, a sophomore, is catching. No balls in the strike. The count to Allie Lighty. The 0-1 called strike 2. And taking third base on the steal is going to be Cortez. First base, Alex Roundtree, a junior. At second is Ari Thomas, a sophomore. At short, Allie Guzman, a senior. Down at third, Camilla Bolds. She is a senior. That bounces in. Nice job by the catcher, Hala Bolds, for not letting it get too far away from her. And that holds Cortez at third. In the outfield, Yanna Nyans, a senior in left. Faith Boozer, a sophomore in center field. And Kara Miller, a sophomore, is in right field for the Bulldogs. Swing and a miss, but that gets away from the catcher. That's going to enable Cortez to come in and score. And getting down to first is going to be Lighty. So the Titans take a 1-0 lead without the benefit of a hit. So Lighty struck out, but she gets to first because the ball got away from the catcher, Bolds. And that makes it 1-0 Titans. And now Elena Warren comes up, freshman second baseman. Warren, right-hand batter. Second baseman. In at third is Camilla Bolds. And that one's going to be swung on, sent down the third base line, but it is a foul ball. I think Camilla Bolds was anticipating bunt, and that was not what Elena Warren had on her mind as she swung and hit it foul. Akila Adams on the mound for Garfield Heights. That's high, 1-1. Throw down to second, and in safely with the steal is Allie Lighty. So that's 2 stolen bases for the first 2 runners for the Titans. So obviously they want to run today. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. And dancing off second now and getting in a rundown is going to be Lighty, and they throw it away. Lighty's going to easily get to third, and she'll probably run around third and come in and score, and she will. So Lighty causes an error on the base pass, and the Lorain Titans take a 2-0 lead now with nobody on and nobody out. So they can kind of start over here to Warren with a 1-1 count, nobody on the bases now. Swung on, lifted foul over our heads and out of play. Wind is picking up here at the pipe yard. Mike Picciotti agrees with that assessment. He says, that's the understatement of the day, Rob. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to call it like it is, Mike. One ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the second. Titans up 2-0. Swung on, that's lifted to left field. Well hit, and that's going to be over the head of Nye. Around first, digging in for 2 is Warren. She won't stop there. She's going to come into third. The ball gets away in the outfield, and Warren's going to keep running, and she is going to score. So Warren scores as we'll give her a triple and then an error on the throw. So she's able to score. And the Titans lead 3-0, still nobody out. They'll bring up senior left fielder Veda Blankenship. Blankenship, open stance. Swung on and missed, strike 1. That's the best pitch this inning so far for Akila Adams. Three 3-0 Titans, bottom of the first inning. That's high, 1-1. So Cortez, I should say, started this by walking. She got the second on a wild pitch, got the third on a stolen base. She came in to score. That's lifted foul. It's 0-2. And then Lighty was safe when she struck out, but the ball got away on a pass ball. She had a stolen base, and she came in to score. And then Warren with a triple and scored on an error. So it's 3-0 Lorain. That's inside, ball 4. Actually, she was hit by the pitch. So Kira Swiger will come up, sophomore third baseman. All right-handed batters so far in the Titans lineup. Swung on a missed, strike 1, gets away from the catcher and heading down to second. And now going to run down to third is going to be Warren, or I should say Blankenship. Throw gets into the outfield. She'll come all the way to score. So the Titans using their legs and running the bases and then benefiting from Garfield Heights with their errors so far have taken a 4-0 lead. So Swiger up. It's now 4-0 Lorain. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. That's lifted foul and out of play. When I asked Coach Charlton if they had played Garfield Heights already this year, he said they had. And when I asked him for the score, he just remembered that they had won handily. And after watching the first 4 batters, I can safely say I'm sure he's correct. That one sent to center field, pretty well hit. And now racing back, going over ahead and up against the fence is Faith Boozer. Around second, digging for third is Swiger. Here comes the throw into the infield. Swiger's going to keep running, and she is going to score. That is a home run. An inside the park homer for Swiger. That's a legit homer. No error there. She hit it over the head of the center fielder and just kept on running. And now Lorain leads 5-0, 5 batters in. That'll bring up sophomore center fielder Olivia Charlton. Pitch, that one's lifted into left field. Coming over and almost making the catch was Nye, unable to hang on to it. And getting into second will be Charlton. That will bring up freshman first baseman Jayla King. It's high and outside, ball 1. Adams still looking for the first out this inning. Swing and a miss. It'll even the count of the ball and a strike. King steps back in. Head coach J.D. Charlton down at third base, giving instructions. Low and away, bounces away, and getting down to third is Charlton. So Olivia Charlton at third. J.D. Charlton, the head coach, is her cousin. One ball, one strike. Still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Adams took something off of that one and had King out in front, fooled on that. So it'll be 2 balls, 2 strikes. Charlton at third, nobody out. Lorain up 5-0, bottom of the first. That one's fouled right in front of us into the net. Adams looks in. Here's the 2-2. Low and inside, 3-2. Jerry Horner, our home plate umpire. Ken Smits is the umpire out on the bases for today's game. And here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Gets away, they'll throw to first for the out. Now the throw back to home, not in time. No, they're saying that the first baseman, Alex Roundtree, I don't think she stepped on the bag before she tried to throw home to get the out. So King is going to be first. That's the second time today Adams has struck out a Lorain Titan and not gotten anything for it. So we have our catcher that is hurt on the play. That's Hala Bolds. And we're going to take a break while they attend to that young lady. We are in the bottom of the first inning. Lorain leads 6-0. We're back after this. Girls Varsity Softball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. And Hala Bolds, the catcher, is okay. She will continue. So Aaliyah Smith comes up now. Still nobody out. 1 on, 6 runs in for the Titans. Squares the bunt, doesn't. Then throw down the second, not in time. Gets away from the second baseman, Ari Thomas. And cruising into third will be Aaliyah Smith. Or, I'm sorry, that's Jayla King. So stolen base. Error on the throw. And King at third. She struck out, but was safe when the throw to first was in plenty of time to get her. But Alex Roundtree, the first baseman, forgot to step on the bag. She wanted to throw home to try to get the runner. So when she did that, that made King safe at first. So that's twice this inning that Bulldogs pitcher Akila Adams has struck out a Titan, but she's yet to record an out because the ball has gotten away from the catcher and the runners have gotten to first base. Trying to bunt at it, missing was Aaliyah Smith. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jayla King at third, still nobody out. That one's fouled right in front of us, off the net. Stays a ball and 2 strikes. Again, the catcher having some issues, I think, with her equipment with that knee saver, trying to get that fixed, although she looks like she's still in some pain. So I'm not sure. Looks like they're trying to tighten it up here a little bit. Alex Roundtree, the first baseman, comes down to help. One ball, 2 strikes to count to Aaliyah Smith, the senior right fielder. She bats 8th. Behind her will be Jayla Kirksey, the number 9 batter, the sophomore pitcher. And then it'll be back to the top of the order for the Titans as the Bulldogs are looking for their first out here in the bottom of the first. Lorain leading at 6-0 as they have taken advantage of some walks and hit batters and some errors, run the bases very, very well. And they have done this on... If I am correct, it looks like they've done this on 1 base hit, believe it or not, because of the walks and the errors and the hit batter. I just have them for 1 hit this inning. So back to the batter's box is Aaliyah Smith awaiting the 1-2 count. And the pitch from Adams. Swung on, and that's going to tap back to the mound. Adams comes up with it, throws to first, and it is going to be in time, I believe. Run comes in to score. I couldn't see if they called her safe or out, the throw beater, and she is out. So the first out of the inning is recorded 1-3. It is an RBI, as coming in the score is Jayla King. Titans now leading 7-0, 1 out, and it'll be the number 9 batter, Jayla Kirksey, and then back to the top of the order. That's going to be ripped down the third base line. It is a foul ball. So the Titans out in front, 7-0 here in the bottom of the first. Jayla Kirksey, sophomore pitcher, standing in. That's off the plate, 1-1. Pitch. Called strike, 1-2. Nobody on, 1 out. Titans up 7-0. We're at the Lorain Pipe Yard. That one's lifted sky high in the infield. Running back, and the pitcher, Adams, tried to make the catch with her back to the plate when the second baseman, Ari Thomas, was right there. And that will be an error on Adams, the pitcher. And Kirksey is safe at first. Now back to the top of the order, and Jolly Cortez. She walked and scored the first of the 7 runs earlier in this inning. Bounces in 1-0, and heading down to second is Kirksey. That one's outside, 2-0. That one's going to be ripped down to third base. Coming up with it is Bowles, throws the first to Roundtree, and she is going to be safe. So you got runners on the corners. Roundtree did a good job of coming up with that one, but not in time. Heading down to third is going to be Kirksey, and that'll bring up Allie Leidy. She walked and scored earlier this inning. She'll square to bunt, gets it down, and off third base in a rundown now, and coming in to score is going to be Kirksey. And Titans are at first and second. That makes it 8-0. Bounces in, and runners will move up to second and third. So I believe they called one of the runners out for running into a baseman there. I believe we have 2 outs. That's going to be fouled off at the plate. Batting is Elena Warren. Titans up 8-0. That one's fisted foul and out of play. Over the head of Mike Picciotti. He was trying to make a bare hand play on that. I saw that. He was trying. I don't have air for cameramen on my score sheet, but right now my score sheet's looking a little crazy anyway. Uncatchable. There you go. The pitch. Swung on and missed, but it gets away from the catcher, Bowles. They're going to throw it down to first base. Roundtree will step on the bag for the out, and that will bring the inning to an end. So Warren strikes out for the third out, and the Titans score 8 runs. And we have played 1 inning. It is Lorain 8, Garfield Heights nothing. We'll be back with more softball after this on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. We move to the top of the 2nd inning. Garfield Heights comes up. They trail 8-0. It'll be Faith Boozer, Alex Roundtree, and Ari Thomas. In the top of the 2nd, the 5, 6, and 7 batters to face Jayla Kirksey, whose offense gave her 8 runs in the bottom of the 1st. An 8-0 lead. Kirksey high and wide on the first pitch, 1-0. Kirksey kicks and fires, and that's low and inside, 2-0. 8 runs on 2 base hits, a whole lot of walks and errors and stolen bases for the Titans in that bottom of the 1st as they took advantage, and that's low, 3-0. So the Bulldogs come in with a record of 0-2 against the 9-4 Titans, have an uphill battle as they play for the 2nd time this year. Lorain beat them over in Garfield Heights earlier this spring. Faith Boozer is a sophomore center fielder. She awaits the 3-0. That's ball 4. So for the 2nd time, the Garfield Heights Bulldogs leadoff batter is aboard with a walk. They had 2 runners picked off the bases. That hurt their cause in the top of the 1st. And now coming up is junior first baseman Alex Roundtree. Roundtree, a right-hand batter. First pitch is strike. Throw down to first, not in time. No balls in the strike to Roundtree. Jayla Kirksey winds and fires. That one bounces in, 1-1. Nice job by Allie Lighty, the sophomore catcher for Lorain, picking up that one on 1 bounce. Rob Polinsky here with you, along with Mike Pachotti, Terry Trout, and the TV 20 crew. 1-1. Swung on and missed. The ball, 2 strikes. Gets away from Lighty. Now running down the second is Boozer. The throw, and she is going to be safe. And then over slides the bag and is called out. So Boozer is the 3rd runner in 2 innings to be thrown out on the bases. So of the first 4 outs, 3 of them have been running outs on the bases. I don't know if I can remember seeing that. So that's just outside 2-2. One would think that Garfield Heights might think twice when they're out there running. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's low, 3-2. Alex Roundtree, junior first baseman, right-hand batter. She awaits the full count pitch from Jayla Kirksey. And it's inside, and Roundtree tried to get out of the way but could not. It hit her on the left ankle as she is hurt. And she'll get up, and she will get down to first base. So 1 on, 1 out for Ari Thomas, the sophomore second baseman. Number 7 batter for the Bulldogs comes up for the first time. That one's going to be chopped back to the pitcher. She'll fire to first for the out. The out goes 1-3. Kirksey throws it over to King. And heading down to second base was Roundtree. That'll bring up Allie Guzman. She's a shortstop. Guzman, a senior. Kirksey with a nice play there, getting that to King. Roundtree got to second base in time. And Kirksey will foul that into the screen behind home plate. No balls in the strike. So Allie Guzman stands in for the Bulldogs. Jayla Kirksey looks in to the catcher, Allie Lighty. And the 0-1's going to be hit to short. Coming up with it, firing to first in time for the out. Nice job, Jolly Cortez, firing over to Jayla King for the out. So Garfield Heights in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. There was a hit batter and 1 left. We've played an inning and a half It is Lorain 8, Garfield Heights nothing. You are watching girls varsity softball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Lorain out in front 8-0. And it'll be Veda Blankenship leading things off for the Titans here. She looks at a called strike. Blankenship, senior left fielder, was safe, was hit by a pitch, and then stole a base and came around to score on an error. Blankenship, one of 8 Titans to score in the first inning. Pitches inside, 1-1. It'll be Veda Blankenship, Kiera Swieger, and Olivia Charlton, scheduled batters for Lorain. That is 4, 5, and 6 in Coach J.D. Charlton's order. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. J.D. Charlton in his second season, head coach of the Titans. They come in with a record of 9-4. And that was going to hit Blankenship. She's safe at first base as she is hit by a pitch for the second time today. I'm going to bring up Kiera Swieger. Swieger had one of 2 hits in the first inning. Hers was a inside the park home run as it went over the head of center fielder Faith Boozer. I look at Faith Boozer right now, and if it goes over her head now, it's over the fence. She is standing right up against the fence in center field. That's high, ball 1, and taking second is Blankenship. She's going to go all the way down to third, the throw to third, and she is out. So Blankenship tried to take 2 bases. She's thrown out. Nobody on, 1 out. Swieger is going to shoot that down the short. Guzman comes up with it. Throw not in time. That's an infield hit for Swieger. She's 2 for 2. Is that Terry Trout you got out there in center field, Mike? Wow. He better watch it the way these Titans can hit the ball. Center field shot from Terry Trout, Mike Picciotti. Oh, he brought his glove. Okay, well, he's a smart man. That one's going to be sent right up the middle, and it gets past Guzman. Around second and heading for third is Swieger, and she's going to try to come around to score. She will, as getting in the second with a double is Olivia Charlton. Titans take a 9-0 lead. They get their first run of the second inning. That'll bring up Jayla King. And Jayla King struck out, but she was safe as the ball got away from the catcher. So it'll be King back up there. She scored the 7th run of the first inning for the Titans. Big cut, swing and a miss, 0-1. And they're going to throw it down to third, not in time. A steal for Charlton. Good cut by King, but she swings through it. No balls, 2 strikes as home plate umpire Jerry Horner. Ken Smits is the base umpire today. That one is going to hit King. She is hit by a pitch on the 0-2. Okay, so they're saying she leaned into it, so that's not hit by pitch. So it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. King will stay there. And the 1-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. So King is out, second out. That'll bring up Aaliyah Smith now. Down at third base is Charlton, 2 outs. Keela Adams looks in. Pitch is called strike. Aaliyah Smith grounded out to the pitcher, Keela Adams, in the first inning, but that was an RBI ground out as Jayla King scored. That one's going to be chopped to third. Coming up with it is Bolds. She can't make the play, and safe at first is going to be Smith. Coming in the score is Olivia Charlton. Two runs in the inning, and Lorain leads 10-0. That swung on and chopped fouled on the third base line, 0-1. Jayla Kirksey is up. Kirksey was safe in the first inning on an error on Adams, the pitcher. That'll bounce in. And heading down to second without a throw is Aaliyah Smith. Swing and a miss. Strike three, I believe. Or maybe it's strike two. Smith took third base. So it is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Keela Adams, the pitcher, looking in. And the pitch is called strike three, and that'll do it. So the Titans get a couple runs, and after 2 innings, they take a 10-0 lead. We'll be back with more girls softball after this timeout on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. Yannon Nee, the number 9 batter, leading off for Garfield Heights in the top of the third inning. They trailed 10-0 as the home plate umpire, Jerry Horner, had called time and walked away before the pitch, and now is letting Jayla Kirksey know that he had called time. So we are in the top of the third. That's no pitch. 10-0. We'll reset the Lorain defense here in the top of the third as Yannon Nee, the left fielder, number 9 batter, steps to the plate for the first time. That's high, ball 1. Jayla King at first. It is Elena Warren at second. Jolly Cortez plays short, and Kiera Swieger is down at third base for the Titans. Jayla Kirksey on the mound. Allie Leidy, the sophomore, behind the plate. There's a called strike, evens the count of the ball and a strike. In the outfield, left to right, Veda Blankenship, Olivia Charlton, and Aaliyah Smith. Top of the third, Lorain with 8 in the first, 2 in the second. They lead 10-0. And that's inside, and it will hit Nee, and she is safe. As for the third time, the leadoff batter for Garfield Heights has gotten on, but their problem is they have literally run into outs, and they have been thrown out on the bases 3 times, so they haven't been able to score, take advantage of the 3 times their leadoff hitter has been aboard. That's outside, ball 1, and the throw down the second. It was dropped by the shortstop, Jolly Cortez, or they very well might have had another out, but Nee is safe at second with a stolen base, and that'll bring up Kiera Miller. She walked in the first inning. Called strike. So Kiera Miller awaiting. The 1-1 bounces in 2-1. Nice job by Leidy, the catcher. Came up with it, threw down the third to Swieger, but holding at second was Nee, and that was a smart job by Yannon Nee, the runner at second base, for not trying to steal because she would have been out. 2 balls and a strike. Nee, the leadoff batter at second. Nobody out, top of the third. That's inside. Another good job by Leidy. It's 3-1. Kirksey with the pitch. That's going to be high, ball 4. So the Bulldogs' first 2 batters are aboard. And that'll bring up Camilla Bolds, the third baseman. She was called out on strikes in her only plate appearance. She's 0 for 1. Bolds doesn't wear batting gloves. Very tall young lady. Plays third base for the Bulldogs. It's inside. That hits her. And that'll load the bases. So the Bulldogs have loaded the bases here in the top of the third without the benefit of a hit. 2 hit by batters and 1 walk, and the bases are loaded, nobody out. Hayla Bolds coming up, and first J.D. Charlton is going to go out and talk with Jayla Kirksey. As his team up 10-0, he is going to come out, talk with Jayla, and I think just throw strikes and let your defense help you out. Or at least that's what Mike Paciotti would tell him to say.
I really wasn't listening.
Neither was I. I was given your advice that you would give the pitcher if you were coming out like JD is and saying, throw strikes. Yeah. See? You don't have to listen to me to know what I was saying. Like most people. Look at you, Mr. Fancy Ray-Bans. Man, I'm telling you, you're sporting some shades. I've got like my 25-year-old Revos on, which I like. Thankfully, we've got to find them. That means the sun's out. Hayla Bolds stands in. She was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. And she takes a swing at the high strike. Swing and a miss, a ball and a strike. Throw down to third, but getting back in time was Yana Nye. It's off the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nye at third, Miller at second, Bolds at first. The pitch. Inside corner called strike, 1-2. Hayla Bolds, sophomore. Camilla Bolds, the senior, is down at first. Kirksey with the 1-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That's the first out of the third inning. They're going to bring up Akila Adams. She was safe on an error back in the first inning. So Adams waves that bat, awaiting the first offering from Kirksey. That one's going to be lifted into right field for a base hit. Coming up with it is Aaliyah Smith. She'll get it in, and the Bulldogs will score a run. Everybody else moves up a base, and it's 10-1. So Adams with an RBI hit. That gets the Bulldogs on the board. Coming in the score was Yana Nye. And moving up to third is Miller. And the second is Camilla Bolds. That'll bring up Faith Boozer. She walked in her plate appearance. That's low and away, ball 1. Everybody stays where they are as the ball got away from Allie Lighty, but staying at third base was Kara Miller. 10-1 Titans, bases remain loaded, just 1 out here in the top of the third. A 1-0 count to Faith Boozer. That's high and away, 2-0. Kurt Marietta, head coach of the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. He's in the first base coaching box, one of his assistants down at third. That's one is a high and away, 3-0. Throw down to third, not in time.
Come on, Tim. Play some catch.
Kirksey into the wind, the 3-0. That's ball 4. Boozer will walk, and that walks in a run. That'll make it 10-2. Coming in to score is Miller. Heading to third is Bolds. To second goes Adams, and to first is Faith Boozer. And that'll bring up Alex Roundtree. She was hit by a pitch in her only plate appearance in the second. So the Bulldogs have scored twice. They cut the lead to 10-2. That's high, ball one. Kirksey pairing into Lighty and the 1-0. That's outside 2-0. Throw down to third. And getting back in time is Camilla Bolds. That's low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Ari Thomas awaiting on deck. Called strike, 3-1.
There you go. 2 more just like that. You got it in you.
Alex Roundtree awaits the 3-1. Called strike, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Let's get it. One more.
The 3-2 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Called strike 3. Roundtree just looked at 3 straight pitches in disbelief to all of them. And it leaves the bases loaded with 2 outs, and now Ari Thomas will come up. She grounded out to the pitcher in her only plate appearance. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Throw down to third, but getting back in time is the runner, Camilla Bolds. Thomas grounded out to Kirksey. In her plate appearance in the second inning, she's 0 for 1. Kirksey's going to ground that to third. Swiger boots it, can't come up with it. And everybody's safe, trying to come in and score and being tagged out at the plate. And for the third out is going to be Adams. But the run will come in as the out for Adams at the plate is the third out. And the Bulldogs get 3 runs. So we have played 2.5 innings. Your score, it's Lorain 10, Garfield Heights 3. We'll be back with the bottom of the third after this. You're watching girls varsity softball on WLCS TV 20. We head to the bottom of the third inning. The Lorain Titans with 8 runs in the first, 2 in the second, have a 10-3 lead. Garfield Heights battled back to get 3 in the top half of this frame. And it's Jolly Cortez looking at the first pitch. It's high, ball 1. Top 3 of the order for Coach J.D. Charlton: Jolly Cortez, Allie Lighty, Elena Warren. There's a high 2-0. Cortez had 2 plate appearances in the first inning. She walked and scored, later singled, and was stranded at third to end the inning. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and she'll fist it foul and out of play over our heads. 2-1. Cortez is a senior shortstop for the Titans. Pitch that's off the plate outside, 3-1. We'll reset the Garfield Heights defense now that we're in the bottom of the third inning for you. But first, Adams looks in, and her 3-1 pitch. That's high, ball 4. And for the third time today, being safe is Jolly Cortez. 2 walks and a single. At first base is Alex Roundtree. She's a junior defensively. Ari Thomas plays second. Allie Guzman is a senior at short, and Camilla Bolds, a senior down at third base. Now Allie Lighty turns around the bat left-handed, swings and misses, and Cortez will take second base without a throw. In the outfield, Deanna Nye, a senior in left. Faith Boozer, a sophomore, is patrolling center. And Kara Miller, a sophomore, is out in right field. Hayla Bolds is the sophomore behind the plate. And senior Akila Adams is on the mound for the Bulldogs. Swung on a missed, strike 2, and heading down to third is Cortez. So Lighty struck out but was safe on the pass ball. She later scored. Then she was safe on a fielder's choice, so officially she's 0 for 2. But she was on base and did score a run. This is the first time she's batting left-handed. She'll look at that one. It bounces in 1-0, and coming in to score is Cortez on the wild pitch. Cortez with good speed comes all the way around after walking. Couple of steals and comes in to score there. It's 11-3. So Lighty now awaits the offering. Left-handed batter, nobody on. No out, and that's a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lighty, sophomore catcher, done a good job behind the plate for the Titans this afternoon. As we now are in the early evening. That one's going to be ripped down the first base line. That is a foul ball. Lighty ripped that down the first base line, just foul. So the home plate umpire Jerry Horner. Ken Smith's out there on the bases as well. The 2 umpires today. She'll send that in the shallow right field over the head of Roundtree. And around first, now Roundtree picks it up, throws to second over the head of Guzman. And heading into third. And she's going to come around to score. And that will be Lighty, who comes all the way around to score. And she'll get a double and an error. But again, Lorain showing their speed on the bases as they have stolen bases all day and taken advantage of this defense of the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. It's 12-3, Lorain now leading. And it'll be Aaliyah Warren, the number 3 batter. Warren stands in. Safe on an error and struck out, so officially she's 0 for 2. Although she has, when she was safe on the air, she did come around to score. That error was on the left fielder. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Alina Warren. That one's going to be fouled out of play just over the first base dugout, which Garfield Heights uses. Lorain in the home dugout on the third base side of this brand new complex at the Pipe Yard. Mike Paciotti telling me it's the first year that this has been in use. That's inside, 1 and 2. We've been to the baseball facility right next door several times. But really nice job they did here with this softball field. So Lorain can play both their varsity softball and varsity baseball right here at Campana Park, just west of Lorain High School. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's high, ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes. Titans up 12-3. And that one's going to be sent into left field for a base hit. Nye will come in around first, digging for second. The throw to second, not in time. Gets away. Roundtree is going to pick it up. And stopping at third is going to be Warren. Blankenship will come up. She's been hit by a pitch twice. That's going to be a line drive, and Roundtree catches it on the fly for the second out. So Blankenship hit it hard, but right to Roundtree for the out. They'll bring up Kiera Swieger. Swieger 2 for 2, a home run and a single. 2 runs scored. That's over, but low, ball 1. Warren at third, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Titans up 12-3. Swung on a miss for a strike. Let me correct myself. There's just 1 out here now in the bottom of the third. Ball and a strike. That one sent sky high over on the right side of the infield. Roundtree, the first baseman, makes the catch for the second out. And staying at third base is going to be Elena Warren. So Roundtree with back-to-back putouts over at first base. And now that'll bring up Olivia Charlton. That one's sent in the right field. That's going to be a solid hit, and it's up against the fence. Charlton around first. She'll easily dig in for second. She's not going to stop there. She'll come into third. Throw comes into Roundtree, and she's going to throw it home, and it gets off the glove, and coming in to score will be Charlton. So 2 runs score, 4 runs in the inning, and Lorain leads 14-3. That'll bring up Jayla King. Takes a look at a called strike. She'll bunt that one. It's a foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes to pitch. That's going to be bunted. Coming up with it is Adams, the pitcher. She'll fire to first, and it goes down the line away from Roundtree. King's going to get around first, go into second base, and she'll stop there. So a 2-out hit, and then getting the second on the throwing error. That'll bring up Aaliyah Smith, number 8 batter in this lineup. Titans up 14-3 with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. There was a 10-run rule, so if the Bulldogs can't get within 9 runs or less after the top of the 5th, the game would end. And right now the Titans with a 2-run lead, as they have scored in every inning, 8 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 so far here in the third. And Smith comes up. She's looking for her first hit of the day. King at second, 2 outs for the Titans. She'll bunt it, and it's a foul ball, 0-1. Well, evidently, it's not a foul ball. It was bunted fair, and I believe the Titans are now going to be out. Okay, he did call a foul ball. So it's no balls and a strike. Couldn't tell what our home plate umpire, Jerry Horner, was explaining there. That one's going to be bunted right back to Adams. She's going to fire to first in time for the out, and the Titans go out here in the third inning, but not before they add 4 runs. So we've played 3. It's Lorain 14, Garfield Heights 3. We're back after this. You're watching Girls Varsity Softball on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. New pitcher for Lorain in the top of the fourth inning. It's Elena Warren, who was playing second base. She'll come in to pitch. She's a freshman, as her team leads 14-3 in the top of the fourth inning. So Kirksey went 3 innings, and she gave up 3 runs. And now it'll be Warren on the mound. We'll get to the other defensive changes as we can. She came in from second base. There's a swing and a miss by Allie Guzman, the leadoff batter. 8, 9, and 1 batters are scheduled for Garfield Heights in the top of the fourth. Allie Guzman, 0 for 1. She grounded out to short, her only plate appearance. The 1-1. That's low, 2-1. At second base now, replacing Warren, who's pitching, is Jolly Cortez. She moved over from short. Coming in from left field to play shortstop is Veda Blankenship, and freshman Trinity Barth is out in left field. That one's going to be sent down the first base line. Warren comes up with it, throws to first in time for the out. So the out is 1-3. Nice play there defensively by Elena Warren, the new pitcher. That'll bring up Yanna Nye, who was hit by a pitch in the third inning, and she scored the first of what would be 3 runs for Garfield Heights in that third inning. She scored the first of those 3, and those are the only 3 runs they have today. That's sent foul down the right field line, 0-1. Lorain 14, Garfield Heights 3. Lorain with 8 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. Garfield Heights countered with 3 in the third. As we are in the top of the fourth inning, Warren kicks and fires. That one's fisted foul down the right field line. They give chase, can't get there. As it was Aaliyah Smith coming in from third, Jayla King, the first baseman, running out, and Jolly Cortez, the second baseman. They converged on it, but couldn't come up with it, so it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out, the top of the fourth. That one's a little high, 2-2. The freshman, Elena Warren, looks in. And that one's going to be sent right back to her. She comes up with it. Again, throws to first. Again, another out. So 2 plays and 2 putouts by the new pitcher, Warren. And it'll go back to the top of the order. And Kara Miller, who's a designated player. She's a designated player playing out in right field for Garfield Heights. And not batting is Riley Poindexter, a freshman. So Miller bats, but she does not play in the field. It's low and away, ball 1. The pitch. High, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. There's a called strike, 2-1. And Kara Miller, the designated player, sophomore, nods her head as in agreement with home plate umpire Jerry Horner with that call. She'll swing and miss on that one. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Warren is a strike away from putting the Bulldogs down in order. Coming in relief after Kirksey went the first 3 innings. The 2-2, that's over, or off the screen, I should say, foul, 2-2. Warren into the wind. 2-2, that's going to bounce in. Well, it hit Miller, so that'll be hit by pitch. So that's the first batter that has gotten aboard here in the fourth for Garfield Heights. And that will bring to the plate Camilla Bolds, senior third baseman. Called on strikes in the first, hit by a pitch and scored in that 3-run third. That's high, ball one. Nice job by Allie Lighty, the Lorain catcher, climbing the ladder to make that one. Now the third baseman, Bolds, awaits the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Warren got the first two batters here in the fourth, but running into a bit of a control issue here now with a hit batter and a 2-0 count. That one went behind Bolds. It's 3-0. High, ball four. So after two were out, a hit batter and then a walk, they'll bring up 2 on and 2 out, and Hayla Bolds will come up, the catcher for Garfield Heights, with an opportunity to do some damage for her team. She's the number 3 batter. She's 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch, and she struck out. Called strike 0-1 as Warren tries to refocus. Akila Adams, the Bulldogs pitcher, awaits on deck, hoping for a plate appearance here in the top of the fourth. Swung on, foul tipped at the plate, 0-2. That's over but low. It's 1-2. Warren looks in. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, sent fouling out of play. It stays 1-2. The 1-2 from Warren. Called strike 3. And that will do it for the top of the fourth for Garfield Heights. No runs, no hits. There were a couple of Bulldogs left on the bases. We have played 3.5. It's Lorain 14, Garfield Heights 3. We'll be back with more right after this on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. And for the first time, we're going to see freshman Trinity Barth at the plate for Lorain. She came in to play defensively left field last inning. So Trinity Barth takes over to number 9 batting for the pitcher Jayla Kirksey, who went 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. Akila Adams, the pitcher out there for Garfield Heights, has gone the entire way. There's a called strike, evens the count of the ball and a strike. Trinity Barth, right-hand batter. She's a freshman. Chokes up slightly, playing left field now. When last inning, when Lorain made several defensive changes, Barth swings, hits it down to third. Bolds can't come up with it. And an error on the third baseman, and Barth is safe at first. That'll go back to the top of the order. And Jolly Cortez, who they have not been able to retire yet. She's 2 walks and a single. She's scored twice. So officially 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored and a couple of walks. So Barth at first, nobody out. Titans up 14-3, bottom of the fourth. Cortez chokes up on that bat. That one's high and away, ball 1. Rob Polinsky here with you. Terry Trout giving you all the camera looks there from center field as he is high atop and beyond the center field wall. Mike Picciotti just to my right. Guys doing the hard work with the camera work. That one's going to be sent down the left field line, just foul. J.D. Charlton, the head coach in the second year, was hoping that home plate umpire Jerry Horner would say fair ball, but he said foul. Cortez steps back in. Keela Adams kicks and fires, and that one is sent sky high in the infield. Guzman, the shortstop, looks up, can't come up with it. And around second, running for third is Barr. Throw comes in, and she is safe at third. And cruising in the second is Cortez. On the error on the shortstop. So a couple of errors on the Bulldogs here to open up the bottom of the third or fourth inning. And Lorain with an opportunity to add to their lead with Allie Lighty, the catcher. Allie has not been retired today in 3 plate appearances. That's high, ball 1. Allie safe on a fielder's choice, walked and doubled. She scored 2 runs today. That bounces in, and coming in to score is Barth, and heading down to third is Cortez. That'll make it 15-3. That's high, 2-0. Lighty awaits the 3-0. And that's low and inside, ball 4. They bring up Helena Warren. She started at second base, is now pitching. Warren, a double and a triple and a walk. I'm sorry, a double, triple, and a strikeout. She's 2 for 3. She'll send that down the first base line. Coming up with it is going to be Roundtree. She'll step on third unassisted, throw down to third base, and out at third trying to run, and they get a double play. Nice job there as Lighty is gunned down. And a good job by Roundtree as she gets the out. And then the double play as they throw to third base. And out at third was Lighty. Coming in to score was Cortez. That'll make it 16-3. And now we should have bases empty and 2 outs. That'll bring up Veda Blankenship. That one's sent down the right field side, and it is just foul and out of play. So nobody on base, 2 outs. Titans with a couple of runs leading at 16-3. One ball, 1 strike, the count. Blankenship was hit by that pitch. She'll go to first. It'll bring up Kiera Swieger. Two outs, runner at first. That one sent sky high into short right center field. Racing in as the center fielder Boozer can't come up with it. Around third is Blankenship. She'll come in to score as Blankenship scores the run. And that is a double for Swieger and an RBI. 3 runs are in. Titans lead 17-3. That'll bring up Olivia Charlton. Olivia Charlton, a sophomore center fielder, has scored 3 runs today She was safe on an error in the first inning, doubled in the second, tripled in the third. So they have not retired her today. She's 2 out of 3. Was safe on the air, has scored 3 runs. 3 runs in the fourth so far. Titans leading 17-3. They have Swieger at second with 2 outs. That one's sent into left field. Knee coming racing in, and she makes the catch for the 3rd out. So that will do it for the Titans as they get 3 runs in the 4th inning. And we have played 4. It is Lorain 17, Garfield Heights 3. We'll be back with the top of the 5th after this timeout on WLCS TV 20, home of Lorain City Schools Television. As we head to the top of the 5th, it'll be Akila Adams, Faith Boozer, Alex Roundtree. Titans up 17-3. Warren in her 2nd inning of work on the mound in replace of Kirksey, who went the first 3. First pitch is low, ball 1. Adams 1 for 2 as the only hit for the Bulldogs today, as they have scored 3 runs on 1 base hit. She had an RBI single back in the 3rd. She waves that bat, waits the 1-1 from Elena Warren, and that one's fouled into the screen, a ball and 2 strikes. Jayla King at first. Jolly Cortez at second. Veda Blankenship is at short, and at third base, Kiera Swieger. In left field, Trinity Barth. Center is Olivia Charlton. Aaliyah Smith out in right field. Allie Lighty behind the plate, and again, it's Elena Warren, the freshman, on the mound, and that one's going to be sent foul. And it should stay in play. Running over, trying to give it chase, but going up against the fence was Lighty. Great effort by Allie in front of the Garfield Heights dugout, but she couldn't quite come up with it. And the count will remain 1-2 to Akila Adams. Titans 3 outs away from going to 10-4 on the season. That one's going to be fouled, and even though I know there's a net in front of me, just your natural, you have to duck, right? I think my duck was pretty good for my first game of the year. I mean, it was kind of in mid-season form. That one's going to be sent to right field. Well hit. Racing back, and that is going to be over the head of Aaliyah Smith. And Adams is digging for 2, and let's see. She's not going to stop there. The relay throw is not in time, and that'll be a triple for Akila Adams to lead off the top of the 5th inning. She really got a hold of that. That's the best hit of the day by far for Garfield Heights. And that'll bring up Faith Boozer. She is looking for her first plate appearance officially. She has walked twice. That's ball 1. This is the first time she has faced Warren, who is in her 2nd inning of work. There's a called strike, throw down to 3rd. And that gets away, and now Adams will come in to score on the air. So Adams will score. Air on the throw. And that makes it 17-4. Nobody on, nobody out, top of the 5th. Called strike. Unless the Bulldogs can score 4 more at least, this will be it after the top of the 5th, as it would be the 10-run rule. That one's going to be fisted just foul. And I guess she is called out there. Maybe she missed it and just went off the glove of the catcher. So there's 1 out. That'll bring up Alex Roundtree. 1 out, nobody on. Called strike. Roundtree was hit by a pitch and was called out on strikes with the bases loaded in her last plate appearance. That's high, 1-1. Waiting on deck is Ari Thomas. 1 out, nobody on, top of the 5th. Titans have scored in every inning. They lead 17-4. That bounces in. They scored 8 runs in the bottom of the 1st, led 8-0, and the game was never in doubt. as they look for the season sweep against their Lake Erie League foe, Garfield Heights. That's high, 3-1. Over for a called strike, 3-2. Three balls, two strikes to Alex Roundtree, junior first baseman. Called strike 3. 2 outs. And now Ari Thomas comes up. Sophomore second baseman, nobody on, 2 outs. Infield comes in. And that one's going to be sent in the shallow right field. Smith coming in, and she makes the catch. Racing out and was the second baseman, Jolly Cortez, and she's shaken up, but making the put out in right field was Smith, and that is going to end the game as Garfield Heights scores a run. They are going to go out there and look and make sure that Jolly Cortez is okay, but that is going to do it for our game. And now it's a good sign that Jolly is getting up, as she made a great effort for it, but it was the right fielder, Aaliyah Smith, who made the catch to end this one. So the Lorain Titans win it by a score of 17-4. Again, the Titans with 8 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third, and 3 in the fourth. And they win it by the final of 17-4. Garfield Heights had 3 in the third and 1 in the fifth. So your final score, girls varsity softball, was Lorain 17, Garfield Heights 4. Lorain goes to 10-4 on the year. Garfield Heights with a loss, they will drop to 0-3. For the second time this year, Lorain defeats Garfield Heights. That's going to do it for our coverage. I want to thank Mike Pachotti, Terry Trout, and the entire TV 20 crew. Again, my name is Rob Polinsky. Thanks for tuning in. Your final score one more time, Lorain 17, Garfield Heights 4. You've been watching girls varsity softball on WLCS TV, home of Lorain City Schools Television.